Shalom, the elect of Israel, the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten Son name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So we got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Korash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who are well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready to accept it or not. In a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the four winds of the earth, the entire world sharing light to the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwa who are listening and learning, and you sisters who are listening and learning. Coming into another lesson of truth, facts, faith, and application. Another data application, Lord, would it be edifying. So I tell you this lesson, the Lord stripped away from us everything but hope. And we was mentioning this, or the brother had mentioned this last night. Now, like, man, I gotta do a lesson on this. The Lord stripped us of everything. We don't have no sovereignty. We don't have no homeland. We are not known as a people, as a nation. The Lord took everything from us but hope. This is how the Lord established us returning back to Him, our husband, through hope. So, just a few precepts I want to read dealing with this topic. The Lord stripped away from us everything but hope. And to tell you when you're reading, let me get this in Deuteronomy. In Deuteronomy 32, and let's see here. So in Deuteronomy 32, in verse 15, it reads, let's read up a little bit. So when you go up verse 8, right, they say, when the Most High divided to the nation their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and you can read that in Genesis 35, starting at 1. He found him in a desert land, talking about Jacob, and in a waste howling wilderness, he led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. Now, right here it say, so the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. And that's when you go to Genesis 35, it tell you that Jacob told, matter of fact, let's get that. Let's get that. In Genesis 35 and 1. There was no strange gods with us, man. This is Genesis 35 and 1. And God said unto Jacob, arise, go unto Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God, that appear unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. Then Jacob said unto his household, which was his wives, Leah and Rachel, and their concubines, and to all that were with him, which is his 12 sons, put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments, spiritual garments. That's what I tell you in Revelation 16 and 15. Put on your garments, lest you walk naked and they see your shame. Meaning be spiritually naked, not having this truth. So, going back to Deuteronomy, it reads, so Yahweh alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth. The Lord gave us the best land, which is Israel, that he might eat the increase of the fields, and he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flint rock, butter of kine, and milk of sheep, with the fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat, And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape, which is good, real wine, no sulfites in it. So this the Lord gave us everything. But then what? Verse 15 say, but Jeshurun, which is another name for Israel, Yasharallah, but Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxing fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook God, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. So once the Lord blessed us with everything it is to be blessed with, we was like, man, we don't need the Lord no more for nothing, man. We could do this on our own. Well, the Lord showed us we can't do it on our own. So this is Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 7. We start at 1 here. Punishment for wickedness foretold. See, prophecies, man. Foretold. They say Ezekiel 7:1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, also thou son of man, thus saith the Lord God, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power unto thee, unto the land of Israel, and the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. So the Lord kicked us out the land of Israel. That's our inheritance. It say, and my eye shall not spare thee, neither would I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord power, and evil and only evil, behold, is come, and end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. The morning is come upon thee, and thou didst dwellest in the land. The time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. Talking about when we was in Israel. And we ain't been back in Israel since, man. Now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and recompense thee for all thine abominations. My eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways and thy abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh that smiteth. Behold the day, behold it come, the morning is gone, forth the rod have blossomed, pride have budded. This is what happened, man. Violence is risen up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of theirs, neither shall there be wailing for them. That's what the Lord said, pray not for these people, 2/3 today. It say, the time is come, the day draweth near, let the buyer rejoice, let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. So it's a right here, verse 14. Verse 13, Salaki, the seller shall not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof. All of us went off, all 12 tribes, man. For the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof. The Lord say, this came to the four corners of the land of Israel, which shall not return, because we can't return back to the land to Yahweh. So those Israelites that's living over there in Demona, and them Edomites is kicking those Israelites out from over there, man. And if you move over there, you got to join the military. We don't supposed to be over there in that land, period. If you happen to want to go visit, cool, but you don't supposed to be living over there, man. Them Israelites that stand over there in Demona, they getting kicked out, man. It say, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return. It tell you in Jeremiah 3, we got to wait on the Lord to take us back to the land. Neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquities of his life. So no matter what we do on this side, Esau set up these P. Diddy's and Dr. Dre's and Jesus and Lil Wayne's and Jay-Z's And LeBron James and Denzel Washington, like they made it. They ain't made it nowhere, man. Them niggas sold out, man. And they gonna die grievous deaths. They ain't made it. They got a little bit of something. They don't own no resources. Michael Jordan got billions of dollars. He don't own no resources. So they ain't made it, man. He ain't taking care of his whole family. We were talking about this last night at camp. You have LeBron James or Denzel Washington have a whole family gathering on July the 4th. The whole family might be there, but is the whole family safe? Is the whole family got money? No, man. Because even with $1 billion, you can't afford to take care of your second cousins and they mamas and your third cousins and they mamas and they daddies and your aunties and uncles. No, Jake get his mom out the hood. That's far as it goes. The mama or the daddy. You don't take your sisters and brothers with you to Hollywood because they can't. And just like the head brother that did a video on Future, he said, we live in check to check just like regular people. Our check's just a little bigger. And what niggas do when they make it? They go buy these big ass houses. Instead of getting a nice little 1-floor house with 4-5 rooms, 3-4 bathrooms, they go get a 2-3 story house, all this land. For what? For what? Because niggas get money and just blow it, man. You don't got no sovereignty. We don't have no sovereignty. We don't have no land. We are not known as a nation. These are the curses. The Lord stripped everything from us but hope, man. So it say, they have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none go up to the battle. So the prophets during that time was blowing the trumpet, warning Jacob was coming. The Lord had prophets on the scene, man. And the cold part is because it say, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof. The Lord told Jeremiah, even thyself shall go into captivity. Even thyself shall go into a land which thou know not, and shall serve other gods. All the prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezra, Ezekiel, they was in captivity, man. The Lord sent everybody, man. Just because you're a prophet of the Lord and you telling the people, thus said the Lord, we all had to go into captivity, man. The Lord said this covered the 4 corners of the land of Israel, man, which all 12 tribes was at. It said they have blown the trumpet, who the prophets, as they doing today, even to make all ready. This message going out to all 4 corners of the earth, man, just like it did in the land of Israel. It said at the top of this verse, to the 4 corners of Israel. It said they have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none go up to the battle. Jacob trouble coming, man. It's gonna be famine and pestilence. Ain't gonna be no food. The grocery store gonna be shut down, man. Tell you in 2nd Ezra, the storehouses shall be found empty, man. And that's when it's gonna be real out here. Ain't no food on the tables. That's the scripture talks about. Your neighbor gonna try to kick your door in because niggas watch what you bring in your house. Niggas watch people that go get a whole bucket load of food. People watch people, man. Wait till Jacob's trouble. They gonna be trying to kick your dough in. If you ain't covered by your house by Shema Shah, they gonna kick your dough in. They gonna take your food. Hey, ain't no man up in there. They gonna rape you. But I have no daughters. They gonna get raped. They gonna take them. It's gonna be neighbor. It's called sedition, man. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. And this happened. The Babylonians came in and took us down. Then you got 70 AD when the Greeks, the Edomites, came and took down Jerusalem in 70 AD. These things happened because of the wickedness. It said, but they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. And Yahweh shall mention this in Luke 21. He said, Jerusalem, let's read that. Because it say all hands. We all had to flee, man. Let's get this. In Luke 21. Yahweh shall said this, man. This is a prophecy of us being scattered. It's Luke 21:20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, 70 AD, Titus and Vespasian, the Roman army, led by a so-called Negro from Egypt, Alexandria. A so-called Negro led the army of Titus and Vespasian. It was always niggas, sell-out niggas that helped Esau take down Jake, man. How you think the Black Panthers got infiltrated? A so-called Negro, Esau set up. There's always slow-bellied niggas that infiltrated, sell out, man. And we shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the country enter therein too, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written, which I'm reading you in Ezekiel, may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and them that give suck, those that's pregnant, and those that got little kids, in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon his people. And that's why Yahweh said in Luke, was it Luke 23? It was women that came when he was toting the cross, when they had him toting the cross, and he fell, and a guy named Simon Cyrene, the Cyrenian, helped Yahweh tote the cross because Yahweh got weak at that point. But that was spiritually for us, because you need a brother to help you get through this situation, what we going through, man. You need the brotherhood. That's why that story was dealt when Yahweh fell and got weak. But anyway, it was women following behind him crying, and he said, "Don't weep for me, weep for yourselves and for your children." Why? Because I'm reading it right here. But one to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, but there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon his people, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword. And what, Lord? And shall be led away captive into all nations. Yahweh shall saying this. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Who's the land of Israel right now? The Palestinians and the Israelis, Gentiles, trotting the land down, fighting over land that ain't theirs, man. So back in Ezekiel 7, now I want to hit this point. This is Ezekiel 7 and 20. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty, but they made the images of their abominations. This is what we did when the Lord put a crown on us, decked us out, gave us the best food, the best land. We had the best of everything. It says, as for the beauty of his ornaments, he set it in majesty, but they, Israel, made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them. Set what far from us? The land of Israel. Let me hold this while I'm remembering it. Deuteronomy 28, 47. It say, Ezekiel 7:21. And I will give it into the hand of strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. Who's polluting the land of Israel? Why is there a LGBTQP parade over there every year? The biggest parade on the planet is in Tel Aviv, Israel, man. Go look it up. And I will give it into the hand of the strangers for a prey. And they tell me they got kosher pig over there. Ain't no such thing as a kosher pig, man. And I will give into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. They pollute the land with kosher pig, man. Ain't no such thing as a kosher pig, man. My face will I turn also from them, from Israel, and they shall pollute my secret place. Who? The Edomites. For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. King David mentioned this in Psalm 55. He said, what did he say? Wickedness and deceit. No, he said deceit and guile is all up in the land of Israel, in the streets of Jerusalem, man. Because Jay was some wicked niggas, man. You had the hopeful elect and you had the 2/3. Ezekiel 7:24. But we all had to suffer. Wherefore will I bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses, and I also make the pomp of the strange to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. The Lord took our land from us, man. In Ezekiel 28, in Deuteronomy 28 and 47, it reads this: because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. The Lord gave us the best of everything, man. What they call it, Jake talking about the people talking about the best of both worlds. The Lord gave us, we had the best land, the best food, the best everything, man. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, food, and in thirst, water, and in nakedness, clothes, and in one of all things: transportation, housing, work, schooling. That's 7 things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now let's go back to Ezekiel 16. As I read in Deuteronomy 32 and 15, when it says, just one wax fat and kick, after the Lord decked us out. Let's read it here. This is Ezekiel 16 and 1. It say, God's grace to unfaithfully Jerusalem. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, thus saith the Lord power unto Jerusalem, the birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. The land of Canaan, which was renamed Israel after our forefather. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother an Hittite, because we took the land of Israel. And as for thy nativity, the day thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither was thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swallowed at all. It say, none I pity thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee, but thou wast cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou was born. And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thy own blood, I said unto thee when thou was in thy blood, live ye. I said unto thee when thou was in thy blood, live. This is the Lord telling Israel, I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou had, and it said that in Deuteronomy 32, how he let us, everything that he gave us, it budded. I have called thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxed great, waxing great. That's what happened. We waxed great, man. The Lord blessed us. And thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thy hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare. Now, when I passed by thee, naked meaning we were spiritually naked. That's why, let me get this real quick to make this point. In Psalms, that's why Asaph said this. Psalms 73, just to prove this point about, this ain't talking about you being booty butt naked. This is Psalm 73, in verse 22, it reads, so foolish was I, and ignorant I was as a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden my right hand. Thou hast holden me by my right hand. Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel, and afterward receive me to glory. So we was as beasts, but then the Lord gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments in Deuteronomy 4, and that made us not to be beasts like the other 17 heathen nations. Because it tell you that in Ezekiel 3 and 18, Ezekiel 3, 18 and 19, that the other these 17 heathen nations are just beasts, man. Now, when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, back in Ezekiel 16 and 8, thy time was the time of love, and I spread my skirt over thee and covered thy nakedness. Yeah, I swear unto thee and entered into a covenant with thee. This is the covenant the Lord made with Abraham, man. He told Abraham to get from his father's house. He made a covenant with Abraham because Abraham's father was worshiping idols, man. And enter into a covenant with thee, saith the Lord power, and thou becamest mine. Then washed I thee with water, yea, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. The Lord made Israel his chosen. I clothed thee also with broided work, and shod thee with badger skin, and I girded thee with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put a bracelet upon thy hand. Jake loved jewelry, right? I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put a bracelet upon thy hands and a chain on thy neck. Jake loved to wear jewelry, right? And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thy ears, and a beautiful crown upon thy head. This is the Lord talking to the men of Israel. He put a crown on us, man. I put a jewel on thy forehead and earrings in thy ears, and a beautiful crown upon thy head. It say, thus was thy decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen and silk and broidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil. Real flour is wheat. The so-called white man bleach your flour white. Flour is grown brown just like sugar. They bleach sugar and flour white. It say, thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou was exceedingly beautiful, and thou didst prosper into a kingdom. And what? And thy renown went forth among the heathen. Because they tell you in Deuteronomy 4 that the nation's supposed to look at us and know, man, these them, man. Because he gave us his law, statutes, and commandments in Deuteronomy 4. And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty. For it was perfect through my comeliness, the Lord saying. And because we wax fat and kick, we thought we need the Lord. The Lord had to show us, listen, I'm going to show you, you do need me. For it was perfect through my comeliness, which I have put upon thee, saith Yahweh power. But thou didst trust in thy own beauty and playest the harlot because of thy renown, because we were so lifted up, man. The Lord, okay, he brought us down and poured us out thy fornications on everyone that passed by. His it was. And of thy garments thou didst take, thy deckest thy high places with diverse colors. You're not supposed to mix fabrics. It's either going to be 100% polyester or 100% cotton. Ain't no 50% polyester and 50% cotton. The Lord, we can't, that's one of our laws, man. It says, see what Jake did? And deckest thy high places with diverse colors, and playest the harlot thereupon. The like things shall not come, neither shall it be so. Oh, I just thought about another thing with diverse colors. You see how you got all these allies that's joined to America, these different flags. Listen, man, but everybody got to be for America. It say, thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I had given thee, and madest to thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them, and tookest thy broided garments, and covetest them, and thou hast set my oil and my incense before them, before these idols they made. And they worshiping the thing the Lord gave. That's why you can use sage, frankincense, and myrrh. You can use it on the right hand side, and it can be used on the left hand side, man. The Lord saying we took all that the Lord gave us and used it in wickedness, man. And took us thy broided garments and covers them, and thou hast set my oil and my incense before them. My meat also, which I gave thee, fine flour and oil and honey, wherewith I fed thee, thou hast even set it before them for a sweet savor. And thus it was, saith Yahweh power. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast born unto me. What the Lord said, who was born unto me? Because it tell you in Exodus 13:1, the firstborn, every firstborn is the Lord's, man. It say, moreover, thou hast taken, and these are the Lord's children. They ain't yours. They ain't yours, man. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters. Because it tell you in with that 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20, that the Spirit, hey, we are not our own. We was bought with a price, man. Therefore, glorify the Lord in your body, which is his. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast born unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured, to Molech, man. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter? Jake was taking their kids. They had this Molech statue, and they was putting the kids in the hand of Molech. They had it set up where the kids set on fire. And they used to play drums real loud to drown out the screaming and the crying of the children, man. What's going on today? Planned Parenthood, man. Going to get abortion. That's the same thing you doing. You just ain't put them in the fire, man. It's the same thing. And when you see how they really, when you see how they took the kids out of woman, that man, that may be worse than fire, man. If you ever saw, I did a lesson on that a while ago, showing how they take the kids out of a woman. Man, it's horrible, man. But this is what Jake doing today, sacrificing their kids to Molech. It's a when you go get abortion. It say that thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them. Molech, man, and in all thine abominations of thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth when thou wast naked and bare and was polluted in thy blood. And the Lord said that in Galatians 6, man. In Galatians 6 and 1 said, Ye thy spiritual, restore such a one the spirit of meekness, considering thyself. Hey, because we all was naked and bare, not having the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah. Then he reactivated you to this truth, man. And it came to pass after all thy wickedness, woe, woe unto thee. Woe, woe means destruction, destruction. Woe unto thee, saith Yahweh power, that thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and has made thee an high place in every street. These altars, man, these altars of sacrifice to kids that do wickedness. Thou hast built thy high place at every head of the way, and has made thy beauty to be abhorred, and has opened thy feet. I love to bring this out. And has opened thy feet to everyone that passed by, and multiplied thy whoredoms. What does it mean for a woman to open her feet to every man that passed by? Come get some of this box. This is what we did to all the nations, man. We indulged in all the nations in their wickedness, following their idols, man. We did that. That's what this means, parabolic. And has opened thy feet to everyone that passed by, and multiplied thy whoredoms. Thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, greater flesh, and has increased thy whoredom to provoke me to anger. What Jake said, they want to go back to Egypt. What Jake doing today? Following Egyptology, pan Africanism, back to Egypt garbage. That's Jake today. When we was in the wilderness, it was some Jake telling them they want to go back to Egypt. Thou has also committed fornication with the Egyptians, which applies today is to these Edomites, because this is the greatest province. Egypt was the greatest province in this time. America is today. That has also multiplied, that's also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, greater flesh, and has increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger. Behold, therefore, I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast unsatiable. Yeah, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornications in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou was not satisfied herewith. How weak is thine heart? Your heart means your mind. The word heart in the Hebrew is lob. How weak is thine heart, saith Yahweh power, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of the imperious, whorish woman. Tell my Israel, man, the men of Israel. In that thou buildest thy intimate place in the head of every way. And that's why you see churches that was not, man. Worshiping in churches, they everywhere, man. And makest thine high place in every street. That's those churches. And has not been as the harlot in that it's a lucky, and has not been as the harlot in that thou scornest higher, man. But as a wife that committeth adultery, talk to the men of Israel. When you're reading on Isaiah 54, the Lord say, He is our husband, we are his wife. But as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. This is what we did to the Lord, man. The Lord considered the men of Israel his wife. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers, and hiredest them that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredoms. Verse 34. And in the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms, whereas none follow thee to commit whoredoms, and in that thou givest a reward. So the Lord said, these nations, you went to follow their idols. They ain't trying to follow you and worshiping your power. You following them. It said, in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh power, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them. Behold, therefore will I gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all of them that thou hast loved, with all of them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness upon thee, unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness. And this is what the nation's been doing. When you read Lamentations 4, it said they look at us and laugh and mock, man. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged. And I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy. And I will also give thee into their hand, and they shall throw down thy eminent place, and shall break down thy high places. They shall strip thee. This is what the Lord did. He said in Jeremiah 30, the Lord wounded us with the wound of an enemy, man. They shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels, and leave thee naked and bare. Like how we started. What the Lord did to us was stripped us of everything but hope, man. Where we started at. They shall also bring up a company against thee, and they shall stone thee with stones, and thrust thee through with their swords. And they shall burn thy houses with fire, and execute judgments upon thee in the sight of many women. And I will call thee, the men were destroyed before their women, man. That's what happened. And our men destroyed today. That's why women get to do what they want to do, man. Because the reason the world's out of order, the reason we don't have no sovereignty, no home, because the men went off. So the women gonna go off. And I will cause thee to cease from playing the harlot, and thou also shalt give no hire anymore. So will I make my fury toward thee to rest, and my jealousy shall depart from thee, because the Lord hid his face, and I will be quiet. See, and will be no more angry. The Lord hid his face from us, man, for a while. And this is mercy, man. What the Lord has done to Israel is mercy, man. Being tight packed on those slave ships, defecating and pissing on each other, that's mercy, man. Some pushed over the side, some Jakes died, some just jumped off the ship, and you still got to come back at 34th generation. You probably escaped that judgment for that time, but your ass had to come back at 34th generation and be born again. That was mercy, man. The Lord did to us was mercy, man. The Lord said, so I will make my fury toward thee to rest, and my jealousy that depart from thee, and I will be quiet and will be no more angry, because thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, but has fretted me in all these things. Behold, therefore I also will recompense thy way upon thy head. And they tell you in 2 5 and 42, the Lord likened his judgment unto a ring, a full circle. Galatians 6 and 7. What you sow in the earth, you're going to reap it, man. Thy way upon thy head, saith Yahweh power, and thou shalt not commit this lewdness. It said, and thou shalt not commit this lewdness above all thy abominations. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as a mother, as is the mother, so is her daughter. You see? And what happened in the land of Israel, it happened to us right here in America and scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Same things over and over. What the Lord did to us was mercy, man. Because the Lord gave us the best of everything. Let's get this in Luke. And we didn't appreciate it. Now, man, we beat down and tired, man. The Lord said, I'm gonna make, since you want to serve me with gladness and joyfulness of heart, I'm gonna make you serve your enemies. And we still, man, you see, the world don't know what's going on, man. They don't understand why we on the bottom. Because we the smartest. I tell you in Jeremiah 51 and 19 that Jacob is the form of all things. Everything that was created on earth, it came from a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indians, and Haitians invented, man. The so-called white man ain't invent nothing. He put patterns, he stole and put pattern on it, man. This is Luke 20:51. He have showed strength with his arm. See, this is how the Lord showed his strength. He have scattered the proud. He have scattered the proud in the imaginations of their hearts, of our own minds. He have showed strength with his arm. He have scattered the proud in the imaginations of their hearts. He have put down the mighty from their seats. And what did he do? And exalted them of low degree. Who? The Edomites. Let me show it to you. Daniel. This is Daniel's 4 and 17. It reads, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the bases of men. And when it mentions, let's get this in Job, show you who the bases of men are. Job 30:1. Now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I will have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flocks. So Job said he wouldn't see these people around his dogs. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished, for want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes. This talking about the mallow root, we're talking about the marshmallow. You know, the so-called white man love to sit around the fires, campfires, and eat s'mores. This is a buzzword. Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meats, because where they was driven at, they had no resources. In Europe, there ain't no resources in Europe, man. It said they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Where do they go? Where do we chase them to? To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. The word Caucasian literally means cave dweller, man. So we talking about the so-called white man right here. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they braided, sounded like horses, donkeys, and mules, like pigs. They didn't have a language. So-called white men didn't have a language. On the nettle, they were gathered together. What did it say? They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were violent in the earth. So what is saying Daniel 4:17? And give it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the bases of men. So in Job 9:24, the Lord gave the earth into the hand of wicked, which is so-called white man. So back in Luke 1:51, he have showed strength with his arm. He have scattered, this word scattered means diaspora, Israelites. He have scattered the proud in the imaginations of their hearts. He have put down the mighty from their seats. He took Israel down and did what? Exalted them of low degree. Who? The bases of men. He have filled the hungry with good things, because they was hungry in them caves. It said they were eating marshmallows and juniper roots, man. Mellow root and juniper roots, man. It say he have filled the hungry with good things, and what? And the rich have he sent empty away. This is what the Lord did to us. He sent the rich empty away. He have hoping his servant Israel in remembrance of his mercy. So now we coming back to it, man. Now the Lord have reactivated us to the truth. This is Psalms. The Lord took everything from us, man. Everything, and gave it to these heathens, man. These heathens ain't earned. They didn't earn none of this, man. They went into the temple and stole all of it, man. Solomon controlled all the resources, man. During his time. Who control all the resources right now? The so-called white man. You can't put a number on the Rothschilds and Oppenheimers and the DuPonts and the Gettys and the Waltons and the Vanderbilts and them. You can't put no price on them because they own resources, man. But there's a price on Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, worth a couple billion. Warren Buffett, couple billion. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, couple billion. There is no number on the elite because they control all the resources. Solomon control all the resources. So when the Lord say He hath put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them a low degree. He hath filled the hungry with good things, and the rich have he sent empty away. He let the Edomites take all our resources, which we had everything, man, all the gold and silver, man, everything. So as this is Psalm 71, Psalm 75 and 4, it reads, this is what the Lord did to us, man. He stripped us of everything and left us with none but hope. Psalm 75 and 4, I said unto fools, deal not foolishly. Don't it tell you in Jeremiah 4 and 22? The Lord said, for my people are foolish. They are sottish children. The Lord talking to Israel right here. Now this applies to the Edomites because they control the earth. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly. And what do? We dealt foolishly, man. And to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. What did he do? I read it to you. He set up men of low degree in Luke 1. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. And that's what he did. He took us out of power and raised up the bases of men, them of low degree, man. The Lord took everything from us and gave it to these Edomites, man. This is let me read this. Now, this is 2nd Ezra. Matter of fact, let me do this and pull up on the screen. Because our inheritance is the land of Israel, man. Oh, Salakia. Our inheritance is the land of Israel. That's our inheritance. But then the Lord, we got statutes, commandments, we got customs, man. High holy days. So let's read this, 2nd Ezra. Because the land of Israel is our inheritance. So this is 2nd Ezra 2 and 1. And I read it to you in Ezekiel 16. And Deuteronomy 30, the Lord took everything from us. Then he took the land, man. He made us flee from the land. And then eventually we have been living among the heathens. And we kept our custom for a while. We ran into the certain parts of Africa. We ran into Asia Minor. Because Israel is in Asia, man. It ain't in fucking Africa, man. For you slow-bellied niggas out there. Israel is not in Africa. You dumb niggas. So a lot of Jake ran into Asia, ran all over the world, man. We were fleeing from the Romans in 70 AD. That's what the Lord said in Luke 21. You shall be led away captive into all nations. But he said, flee into the mountains. And a lot of Jake fled into Africa. This is 2nd Ezra 1 and 1. 2nd Ezra 2 and 1. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by men's service, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despise my counsels. The mother that bare them, which is Israel, said in Galatians 4 and 26, that Jerusalem is the mother of us all, not fucking Africa. The mother that bare them saith unto them, go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. Why? Because all the wickedness that we did in the land. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. For ye have sinned before the Lord your God, and done that thing that is evil before him. But what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, O my children, and ask mercy of the Lord. And Solomon prayed a prayer that in the land of our captivity, we face the east and pray to the Lord and call on his name, he'll bring us home, man. Well, this is already a prophecy of this was going to happen. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, that thou bring them to confusion and their mother to a spoil, which is the land of Israel, which is spoiled by heathens right now, that there may not be offspring of them, that there may be no offspring of them. Well, in the land of Israel, man, you got these dumb niggas over there living in Demona, but they're getting kicked out because they aren't supposed to be there. Let them, now I just read you Luke 1, when the Lord said he scattered us, let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth. See, we don't got no name. As a nation, we don't have a name. There is no one talking about, yeah, those are the Hebrews were like, yeah. No, we saying this. The world ain't saying this. And he ain't gonna say it until Yahweh shall return, man, and magnify his father's name, his name, and then the nation of Israel. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth. And to tell you that in Lamentation 4, that we are not known in the streets, man. For they have despised my covenant, man. The Lord stripped us of everything and gave it to Esau, eating the so-called white man. So let's go back to this. Got a couple more precepts here. Let's get Psalms 146. Man, we ready to get out of here, man. Now we understand why the Lord did what he did to us, man. This is Psalm 146 and 5. Happy is he that have the God of Jacob for his help, not the God of the Moabites, the Chinese, the Japanese, the gods of the Edomites, the gods of the Arabs, the God of Jacob. Happy is he that have the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in Yahweh, his God. The Lord left us none but hope, man. That's all we got left. Jeremiah, which is a beautiful thing, man. But this is how the Lord established us to come back home. Through hope, man. Through your faith, your belief. This nigga came to camp 3-4 years ago and said that he followed GMS. He watched us. He watched Hebrew Israelites. He believed everything the Hebrew Israelites saying. But he said that Yahweh ain't come back for another 1,000 years. He like, man, you know, I can't do what y'all do. I'm making like $3 grand a week. And I want my boss to see me out here. Listen, man. The Lord established this to be through hope, faith, and your belief, man. Jeremiah 17 and 7. Bless that nigga could be dead somewhere right now. Probably broke. Probably took all the jump shots, drunk all the Capri Suns. He might be through. Jeremiah 17 and 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahweh and whose hope the Lord is, man. So this is what the Lord established us to make it back through hope, man. Let me get this in Lamentation. We bring this out last night in the GNT. Lamentations 4, man. The tabernacle of David is being built, man. But the Lord did a number on us, man. The Lord did a number. He stripped us of everything but hope, man. That's all we had left. Jeremiah 41 says, the stress of the siege described. Lamentation 4:1. How has the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? This most fine gold talking about the men of Israel, the remnant, the elect. The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. Every street, every country, every nation, Israel is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And what the Lord said, he's going to be a little sanctuary in Ezekiel 11:16. That's why you see camps in Germany, in Holland, in Alaska. The Lord is a little sanctuary to what we have been poured out in every street, man. Who is it talking about? It said the precious sons of Zion. Not the women, the sons. The Lord deal with the men deal with the women. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to a fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? An earthen pitcher. Let's show you what it means. Let's get this.
Strong's H 5035. Navel. Navel. And second entry. Nevel. Nevel.
Now it said bottle, pitcher, saltery, vessel. So what you want to go to is, look, it said from collapsing when empty. What happened to us? We collapsed because we was empty. We was bare naked. The Lord took his spirit from us. Man, that's heavy. From collapsing when empty, man. So the word earthen, you know what pitcher is? Look at the word earthen.
Strong's H
Man.
2789. Cheres, Cheres,
It's a piece of pottery, clay pottery, shard, part shared, earthen vessel, earthenware. That's empty, man. Ain't nothing in it. And that's why the scripture say 2/3 are born in vain. The word vain means empty. There's nothing there, man. Yeah, so let me get this. The Lord left us with none but hope, man. In Romans, this is Romans 8 and 18. It reads, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory." And it ain't. Because I'm gonna read 2 Corinthians 4. This has only been a light affliction for us, man. Like all these captivities we done been in from Egypt to now, man. It's only been no more than 3 days, man. At the most. We say 3 weeks, man. 3 weeks at the most, man. 3 weeks is the max that we done been in captivity, man. So it said, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature, which we are the creature, waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of glory, the sons of God." I mean, Salakia. So it say, "For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope." And Yahweh had to go through it first, right? As Elder Yashua always mentioned, Adam being Yahweh being the first Adam, man. And through Adam's sin came. And through the last Adam, Yahweh, sin was ended, man. We was covered. Through Adam became sin, and through the last Adam, who became a quickening spirit, it was done away with, man. Because Adam was Yahweh, man. So, they tell you that in the Corinthians. So, it said, "For the creature, for the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God." Let me show you. Let me show you. This first applies to Yahweh. James. I'm going to show you. James 5 and 7. Again, it say, Romans 8 and 19, "For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly." Yahweh had to go through the same thing, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. When you read in 2 Timothy 2, it tell you that the husbandman must, 2 Timothy 2, I think it's verse 4 or 5, that the husbandman must first partake in the fruits. I'm going to read it. Let's read this first in James 5. That's why I tell you in 1 Peter 4 and 1, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind as Yahweh, man. Because we got to go through the same thing. Our portion ain't that big. He made our affliction light. This is James 5 and 7. "Be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman, which is Yahweh, waiteth, see, for the precious fruit." What precious? The precious sons of Zion. Waited for the precious fruit of earth, and what? And have long patience for it until he receive the early and latter rain. Right? Right here. So then you got 2 Timothy. Let's get this. 2 Timothy 2. Second Timothy 2 and 6. It reads, "The husbandman, see, that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits." Hold on. Hebrews 2. Let's get this. Hebrews 2 and 9. This is how the Lord set it up, man. It say, "But we see Yahweh, who was made little lower than the angels, for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he by the grace of God should taste death for every man. For it became him, for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, in bringing what? Again, many sons unto glory. Hold on. Got to go back. Romans 8. Romans 8. Let's read this again in 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of glory, for the sons of God, Salakia. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. The Lord made us go off. The Lord set it up that way, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. All this is through Yahweh Shai, man. Without him, we through. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the spirit, even we ourselves grown within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body, to go back into our glorious bodies, man, the angelic extraterrestrial bodies. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. You can't touch hope. Hope is not a bag of money, man. Hope is not signing a check, a contract, and you making 150 million for 3 years, man. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for? But if you hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. This is all through Yahweh Shah. So again, but we see Yahweh Shah, who was made a little lower than the angels, for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he by the grace of God should taste death for every man, for became him for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, in bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through suffering. For both he, Yahushua, that sanctified, and they remnant, 144,000, who are sanctified, are all of one, for which cause he is not ashamed to call them brethren, saying, I will declare thy name unto my brethren, which is in John 17, where the Lord say, I have manifest thy name unto the men that thou have given me, the remnant, the elect, saying, I will declare thy name unto my brethren in the midst of the church, will I sing praises unto thee. It say, for as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he may destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage from Egypt to now, man. This is talking about Israel. The Edomites ain't win no captivity, man. The Chinese and Japanese ain't win no captivity, man. They ain't never been no bondage, man. Okay? The Africans ain't win no bondage, man. The Arabs, the Elamites, the Ishmaelites, none of them went into no bondage, man. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham, because he came through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons, whom King David and Solomon came from Judah. Wherefore, and out of Judah came Zerubbabel and Nathan, and Mary came from Nathan, and Joseph came from Zerubbabel, or vice versa. It's either Mary came from Zerubbabel and Joseph came out of Nathan, or Mary came out of Nathan and Joseph came out of Zerubbabel. But they both came from Solomon. They both came from Solomon, man. He took on him the nature, he took not on him the nature of angels. So all that, oh, Gabriel had sex with Mary, you dumb niggas. Angels don't have sex, you slow bellies. The Lord said in the Matthews, angels don't have sex, dumbass niggas. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. Did you know Mary and Joseph had Yahushua had other brothers? Did you know James and Jude, that's in the Bible, was Yahushua's biological brothers, you slow-bellied niggas. Wherefore, in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he may be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, on planet and earth and fleshly, man, to make reconciliation. Go look that word up. For the sins of the people. For in that he himself suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted. Let me get this. In Isaiah 63 and 17. And Isaiah said the same thing that Ezra said. When you read in 2 Ezra 7, Ezra said, "Oh Abraham, what hast thou done? It wasn't you that just went off. You made all of us go off. Because Adam went off, which was Yahweh Shah. And through Yahweh Shah was sin done away with." This is Isaiah 63 and 17. "O Yahweh, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways?" See, the Lord made us go off to subject us in hope, man. "O Yahweh, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways, and hardeneth our heart from thy fear? Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thine inheritance, the holy people." It said, "The people of thy holiness have possessed it but a little while." Solomon had it. King David had it for 40 years. Solomon had it for 40 years. That's it, man. No, I'm sorry. King David had it for 70. It was a 40 and a 30. And then Solomon had it for 40. We only had the kingdom for a little while. Adam only had it for a little while, man. For a little while. When Joshua took us into the land of Israel, man, we only had it for a little while, man. Because the Lord, because we always got proud, man. Joshua 1 waxed fat and kicked, man. It said, "The people of thy holiness have possessed it but a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down thy sanctuary. We are thine. Thy never bearest rule over them. They were not called by thy name," which is Yasha Allah, man. Oh, when you look up the word Judah, right? The word Judah in the Hebrew is Yahweh, which means Yahweh praise, Yahweh thanks. Thanks Yahweh. That's what Leah said when she had Judah. Praise Yahweh. That's what Judah means, Yahweh dah. The Lord's name is in Israel, man. You slow-bellied niggas. Closing precept. 2 Corinthians. 4 and 17. It reads, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceedingly and eternal weight of glory." Hey, you know what's crazy too? Because this guy, DeSantis, said in that article that came out last month that it was some blacks that benefited from slavery. Nigga, how the hell we benefited from slavery? You know what? We did, man. The Lord is teaching Israel a lesson, man. He's teaching us a lesson. Let me show you. In Job, the Lord taught us a very valuable lesson about appreciating what the Lord give you, man. This is Job 36 and 5. It reads, "Behold, God is mighty and despiseth not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom. He preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor. He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous," which is Israel. He put us in captivity. He hid his face, but he didn't withdraw his eyes, man. "But with kings are they on the throne. Yeah, he doeth establish them forever." Now, when you go to Psalms 89, the Lord say he made a covenant with David, man. He said he sworn to David that he would establish his throne forever. It tell you in Luke 1 and 31 that Yahweh is going to sit on the throne of David, his father, man. So the Lord just punished us, man. He withdrew not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings, which are the Israelite men, are on the throne. Yeah, he doeth establish them forever. Because this is the promise he made King David, that his throne and his siege is going to be forever in Psalms 89, man. He doeth establish them forever, and they are exalted in due time. This is a light affliction. It say, "And if they be bound in fetters and be holding in cords of affliction," these bodies are cords of afflictions and fetters. And if they be bound in fetters and holding in cords of affliction. See, these bodies we put in because you get old, you get sick, gotta go to work, back hurting, feet hurting. That's these cords of afflictions. Then what did he do? Then he showed them their work and their transgression that they have exceeded. How did the Lord show it to us? We watching movies. The Edomites making movies. This new movie, Emancipation, Will Smith. Good movie if you haven't watched it. Birth of a Nation. Amistad. They show you in Amistad. They took the king, then they took the people. Well, the Lord said in Deuteronomy 28, thy and thy king shall go into captivity, man. Goodbye Uncle Tom. If you ain't never saw that, it's puke words make you throw up. Go watch Goodbye Uncle Tom. Show you how them Edomites really get down. Goodbye Uncle Tom, Amistad, Birth of a Nation, the new one, Emancipation. It's a long list of them, man. Roots, the real Roots, not this new one that they remade. Roots. What is it? 12 Years a Slave. It's a lot of them, man. The Lord showed us. Oh, go to Google and type in yoke of iron. See what come up. It's gonna be a Negro with his neck, with a yoke of iron on his neck, man. So again, it say Job 36:9. Then he showed them their works. Then he showed them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded. He opened also their ear to discipline and commanded that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity, which is the kingdom of heaven. And on this side right now, we're going through trials and tribulations, that adversity and affliction, but the Lord covers us, man. And every now and then, there's a spiritual bank account that we build, and the Lord lets you tap into it every now and then. But if he lets us tap into it fully, we want the kingdom of heaven to come, man. And we want to go home, man. We don't have no sovereignty. We don't have a money problem. It's not monetary with us, man. It's not financial. It's sovereignty, man. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasures. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, which 2/3 are dying. George Floyd, Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Tremere Rice, Breonna Taylor. The list goes on and on. They shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. How did George Floyd die? Without knowledge. How did Breonna Taylor die? Without knowledge. How did Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin die? Without knowledge. Oh, Bill Russell. This nigga was advocating for the Capri Sun. How did he die? Without knowledge. Walter Payton, slow belly ass. Where he at? Back in the spiritual realm with Bill Russell. How did he die? Without knowledge. Kobe Bryant died without knowledge. Michael Jackson died without knowledge. And this nigga Michael Jackson made a song said, they don't care about us. Who do you think he was talking to? He was talking about the so-called white man don't care about you Israelites, man. But they all died without knowledge, man. And it's gonna be many more. DMX, right up there in New York. No, he heard the truth. Died without knowledge. Yeah, man. Many more, man, is gonna die without knowledge because they refuse to repent. But the Lord said, what? Then he showed them their work and their transgression that they have exceeded. Iniquity, sin on top of sin. Iniquities, man. See? But they're gonna die without knowledge, man. It say, but the hypocrite in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them. So let's go back to Jeremiah 5 when it say the Lord has stricken them, but they have not grieved. He had consumed them, but they refused to return. It say, but the hypocrite, 2/3 hard-headed nigga, in heart heapeth up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them. But it's the hopeful elect that's been crying. Now we don't like, man, the Lord put us tight, packed us on those ships. We understand now. 2/3, them niggas ain't even crying. It said, but the hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them. They die in youth, and their life is among the unclean. He delivered the poor in his affliction and openeth their ears in oppression. You see it? You hear it? The Lord have given us, has reactivated us, has opened our ears. He delivered the poor in his affliction and openeth their ears in oppression, man. Kala Yahabashim Mabashaka, 2/3 don't. The Lord said he closed their ears up, man. Seeing they see not, hearing they hear not. Even so will he have removed thee out of the straight into a broad place where there is no straightness, and that which shall be set on thy table should be full of fatness. What table? Psalm 23. The Lord prepared the table for us in the presence of our enemies. What's on this table? The Lord said in Matthew 22, He said his wedding is furnished. He got his fatlings and his oxen and killed. The table is real wine, real lamb, real ox, real food. Spiritual food is on the table. The table represents a bank, man. What's in a bank? What's in a real bank? Resources, real gold and silver. So this table, the Lord said, I would have, listen, even so will he have removed thee out of the straight into a broad place where there is no straightness, and that which shall be set on thy table shall be full of fatness. Well, what did King David pray to the Lord about? 2/3. Let's read it. Psalm 69 and 22. This is a prayer of King David, man, which is in Romans 11. Let their table, who? 2/3 table, become a snare before them. Hold on. Listen to this. This is Psalm 69:18. Draw nigh to my soul and redeem it. Deliver me because of my enemies. Thou hast known my reproach and my shame and my dishonor. Salakio. My adversaries are all before thee. Reproach have broken my heart, and I am full of heaviness. And I looked for some to take pity, but there was none. And for comforts, but I found none. They gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. This is what they did to the Yahweh Shah and the Messiah on the cross. They gave him vinegar to drink, right? It's a heavy precept. But King David say, let their table become a snare before them, talking about 2/3 of Jake, and that which have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. Let their eyes be darkened, see that they see not, and make their loins continually to shake. To my 2/3 of Jake, man, because they ain't gonna get it, man. They don't supposed to. This truth, this is a table. The Lord say prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies, man. And 2/3 is your enemy. So anyway, I just want to make some point. Oh, let me go back to the 2 Corinthians. Let me finish this. Let's go back to this. So back in 2 Corinthians 4 and 17, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we look not at things which are seen, which is chasing that bag, driving around in the baddest car, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But thinking about you chasing the bag, that's all. That's where your mind at. Esau say, get the bag, and then you can get the power. You get the woman. You get the house, the car. You can have kids, and you have money to take care of your kids. You don't got to be struggling, worrying about how you gonna pay for Pampers and milk. Because newborns cost about 100,000 at the least. But you know, the Lord make ways, man. How you know? But this is what Jake mind is at, man. Chasing that bag. What the Lord says, seek ye first in Matthew 6 and 33. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and everything else will be added. Esau said, no, you gotta get this money first, and then everything else will be added. Well, tell you 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, that he, the 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4, that he's opposite of the Lord, man. It said, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen, which are spiritual. That's why I tell you in Colossians 3, in the Philippians 3, that we our mind is set on the heavens, man, not on earth. It say, but at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporal. It's not permanent, man. But the things which are not seen are eternal. So that's what the Lord did, man. He stripped us of everything and only left us hope, man, which is beautiful. Because 2/3 don't got no hope, man. Them niggas don't got nothing, man. So Lord was edifying. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakah Quadash. The bonus to the apostles, and the bishop, and elders of great millstone, real well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, ready to accept and not. In the sense of salutation to all the occupation is truth and believing is true. throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the walk who are listening and learning. If you sisters are listening and learning, come out tuning in. May how about you, mama, shall continue to bless you in your houses, stay prayed up. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Till next time, I say shalom, walk a barber ball.